So far, Prabhu, this I will go ahead. Srimad Bhagavatam, we have heard with Srimad Radharani's mercy. We have heard the overview of Srimad Bhagavatam and how Srimad Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna himself. And then the summary of Srimad Bhagavatam just in 1 hour. Then first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, fifth canto, sixth canto, seventh canto, eighth canto, ninth canto, 10th, 11th and 12th canto. We have heard that all. And now we are hearing the summary. In the summaries, Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanamutaya manvantara ishanukada nirodho muktirashraya. These are the 10 subject matters. So first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth and fifth canto covers sthanam, sarga and visarga. Until the first half of the fifth canto, sarga is covered. Second half of the fifth canto, until the first half of the fifth canto, visarga is covered. So sarga and visarga until there. And then in the second half of the fifth canto is sthanam. Sixth is poshana, seventh is utaya, eighth is manvantara, ninth ishanukata. Today we are going to hear ninth ishanukada, 10th ashraya, 11th mukti, 12th nirodha. So ishanukada nirodho mukti ashraya. The last 4 subject matters we are going to hear today, the summary of those 4 subject matters. So that would be 9, 10, 11, 12. So we will hear the summary of that, please. Yeah. And as I said, we will go through the slides, and if wherever there is a little correction, I'll mention that to you. And after editing the slides, we'll post this to you anyway. So now you can just focus on hearing. Just you can have the visual anchor of the slide. Most of that is okay. Good. There is no mistake in that. Just that I was trying to present it more precisely. So we'll go ahead. 9th canto, summary of 9th canto. So 9th canto is Ishanukata. Ishanukata because our Isha, Lord Krishna, he has appeared in Chandravamsa and Suryavamsa. Yeah. So 9th canto describes about the dynasty of Suryavamsa and Chandravamsa. So that's why Isha Anukata. So the past descendants of Lord Rama, the Vamsha of Lord Rama and Vamsha of Lord Krishna. That will be described. That's Isha Anukata. So as we did in the past, we will go ahead with, actually for these 4 cantos, these are not like buzzwords thing. As you hear, but still you would need some stops here and there to anchor on. So what we can do is, 9th canto is Suryavamsha. And in Suryavamsha, the buzzwords, if we have to remember, let's remember Ikshvaku. Yeah? Ikshvaku and Mandhata. In Ikshvaku comes Mandhata. Okay. And here comes Ramachandra in Ikshvaku dynasty, the descendant. And second, the next one would be Ambarish Maharaj, the descendant of Nabhaga. So Ikshvaku, Nabhaga. Saubhari Muni, son-in-law of Mandata. Chavana Muni, husband of Sukanya. Okay. And Lord Balaram is married to Revati. So these are the important ones in Suryavamsa. And in Chandravamsa, Pururava, Yayati. From Yayati comes the Kuru dynasty and Shantanu and the Pandavas. And from Yayati also comes Yadu dynasty. Lord Shri Krishna is there. Okay. He's the main one actually. Yayati from Ayu. And from Vijaya would be Lord Parashurama. And from Gadi, that would be Shakuntala and King Bharata, not the Jada Bharata one, the King Bharata. So that is just to have little something from Canto 9. And as I said, we'll share the slides again. Okay. So here, even Surya Vamsa or Chandra Vamsa, both of them, the starter would be the original progenitor, Brahma. So from Brahma comes Marichi. Marichi's son is Kashyapa. Kashyapa gets married to Aditi. Aditi's son is Vivashwan. Vivashwan's son is Shraddha Deva or Vaivashwatamanu. That Shraddha Deva or Vaivashwatamanu gets married to Shraddha. And what happens there is that they didn't have children, so they had to do the yajna. The yajna was the Vaivashwatamanu. His intention was to have a prince to rule the kingdom. But Shraddha, his wife, wanted a girl. So he requested the priest to utter the mantras for a girl. So in this way, Shraddha or Vaivashwatamanu ended up having a girl named Ila. Then Vaivashwatamanu or Shraddha Deva, he was happy to have a daughter, but he still needed a son. Because son has to rule the kingdom. So with the help of his priest, he worships Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu appears and then gives the boon as requested by Shraddha Deva to turn Ila to a boy, Sudyumna. And this Sudyumna, he once goes to the place of Bhavani and Mother Shiva. And there, because of a curse, he is again cursed to turn into a woman. So then again, the prayers were made. And as a result of that, the Sudyumna is 1 month, he would be a man, Sudyumna, and the other month he would be a woman, Ila. So in this way, he was ruling the kingdom. This Sudyumna, when he was when he was in the form of Ila, Buddha, who is the son of Soma, that's where the Chandravamsa is starting. Soma means moon, Chandra. So Buddha is the son of Soma. So Buddha gets attracted to Ila, and a son is born, and his name is Pururava. So this is where the Chandravamsa starts. Chandra or Soma, his son is Buddha. Buddha unites with Ila, and then Pururava is born. That's where Chandravamsa is. So we will hear about that later. But here, continuing with Suryavamsa, and just to wind down regarding Ila Sudyumna. So he was ruling his kingdom like that. 1 month as a man, 1 month was a woman, like that. But he ends up giving his kingdom to Pururava and then goes to forest. And that's how his story goes. And continuing with the Surya Vamsa. So Shraddha Deva or Vaivashwatamanu again does the yajna, and this time he gets 10 sons with his wife Shraddha. These are the names of 10 sons. Amongst them is Ikshvaku, Nriga, Sharyati, Nabhaga, and the other 6 sons. Ikshvaku, he's the main. Actually, it is said that Ikshvaku has 100 sons. They were born from a sneeze. That's what is said. So what we see here are only the prominent ones as descendants in the Ikshvaku dynasty. And throughout these flowcharts, deities, we just chose only the prominent ones in the dynasties. So in Ikshvaku's dynasty, King Nimi, Maharaj Nimi, you remember? Maharaj Nimi with Navayogendras in 11th canto. That's Maharaj Nimi here. And the descendants here in Maharaj Nimi is King Janaka. He's the father of Mother Sita, wife of Lord Ramachandra. Here, okay? In the same Ikshvaku, one of his sons is Mandata. Mandata had many daughters. Here comes the story of Shaubhari Muni. Shaubhari Muni, he attained perfection in all the Ashtanga Siddhis, and he was meditating under the water, but that didn't help him. The lust did not go away. In spite of all the Siddhis, the lust did not go away. So he ended up coming out of the waters and went to Mandata and asked for his daughters in marriage. He gets married to those daughters, and then he realizes, oh, what did I do? Then he takes up Bhakti Yoga. So that's about Shaubhari Muni, where none of those yogas, including the Ashtanga, did not help him to come out of the lust under the clutches of mind. And it's the Bhakti that helped him. So at the end, Shaubhari Muni takes up the process of Bhakti Yoga, and he gets into the spiritual realm, gets liberated back home. That's Shaubhari Muni. He's a son-in-law of Mandata. And descendants of Mandata continue. Harishchandra, great king, Satya Harishchandra. His son is Rohita. And the descendants in Rohita are Sagara, Amsuman, Bhagirada. Bhagirada is the king. He was the king that brought Mother Ganga to earth. And then the descendants there is Khatvanga. He is the king who helped Lord Indra to fight against the demons. And when he was asked for benediction from the demigods, he wanted to know for how long he was going to live. When he was notified that he was going to live only for Muhurta is for a moment, then Khatvanga, very quickly he turned to Bhagavan, and with the meditation on the Lord in the heart, taking up the process of bhakti, he leaves the body. So King Khatvanga is very well known for utilizing his time. Even it was just a moment before he was going to leave the body, he turned towards the Lord, meditated on the Lord, and then went to the spiritual realm. So Suta Goswami actually mentions King Khatvanga's name before he recites the Bhagavatam to Parikshit. Actually, at the very end, in the 12th canto, Suta Goswami says, "Oh, Maharaj Parikshit, Khatvanga had only one moment to meditate on Lord Hari, and he attained perfection." Yeah, now that you had all this time and you have heard Katha, it's time for you to meditate. Meditate on Lord Hari. Suta Goswami says that. So this is Maharaja Khatvanga in the Ikshvaku dynasty. And the descendants in there, King Dasaratha, father of Sri Lord Ramachandra. Ikshvaku Kula Tilaka Ramachandra. There's a song addressing Ramachandra as Ikshvaku Kula Tilaka, the crest jewel of Ikshvaku dynasty. That's about Ikshvaku dynasty. And King Nriga, this is not Narga, but Nriga. Remember King Nriga, he did the Karmakanda, and one of the cows got exchanged with the Brahmanas, and the Brahmana was angry. So he went to, after King Nriga died, he went to Yamaka, and then Yamaraj asked, which one do you want? Do you want the result of your pious activities first or impious activities first? Then Nriga says, okay, I'll just go ahead, have the fruit of impious activity first. And then he becomes a lizard, and he was stuck in a well. And Lord Krishna comes that way. and liberates King Riga from that body of the lizard. So that's King Riga. And that's the story which says that Karmakanda is always, it is risky. Even if we have the intention to do punya, it may end up with papa. So that's when the glorification of bhakti comes. And this was described also. So that's Maharaj Nriga, King Nriga. And then next one is Sharyati. Sharyati's daughter is Sukanya. She was married to Chavanamuni. Sukanya's chastity and her patience is very much talked about, very much praised. So she was the daughter of Sharyati, Chavanamuni. So her chastity was so great. Chavanamuni, he regained, he was given youth by Ashwini Kumaras. And Sukanya prayed so beautifully to Ashwini Kumaras. They were also impressed and very respectfully bowed down to the chastity of Sukanya, and gave young Chavanamuni back again to Sukanya. So that's the story of Sukanya. So Sukanya is the daughter. She was the daughter of King Sharyati. So descendants of Sharyati, they are Revata, and Revata's descendant is Kakudmi. This King Kakudmi had a daughter called Revati. And Kakudmi wanted to find a suitable husband for Revati, goes to Brahmaloka. And Brahma was busy with something, so Kakudmi waited there for a little bit. By this time, the Kali Yuga, he went in Satya Yuga to Brahma Yuga. So by the time Kakudmi talked to Brahma and was asking for a husband for her daughter Revati, the Satyayugam passed by in Bhuloka. Then Brahma said, you were waiting for me here for a few minutes, but the place that you came from in Bhuloka, the Satyayuga has already passed by. Now Dwapara Yuga is happening. So a suitable husband for your daughter Revati would be Lord Balaram. So he's on the earth, go back to earth. Then Kakudmi brings his daughter Revati to earth, and she was so big because she was from Satyayuga. And Lord Balaram, he simply presses his big toe on the big toe of Revati. Then her size suits the size of Lord Balaram, and that's how they get married. This is in the dynasty of Saryati. And Revati is the daughter of Kakudmi. Okay. And Nabhaga, King Nabhaga, son is Nabhaga. Nabhaga's son is glorious Ambarisha. Ambarisha Maharaj, the Charita of Ambarisha. Ambarisha, what was his glorious character? He was a moving temple. Savaimana Krishna Padharavindayo Vacham Sivaikuntha Gunanuvarnan Karau Harir Mandira Majjanadishu Shrutim Chakara Chuta Satkado Daye. That shloka beautifully explains how Ambarish Maharaj, the hands for the service, the legs to go for the pilgrimages, the heart, the manas and the heart is in the thought of Achyuta. And the vachas, the speech, is to glorify the Lord. And the head is to bow down to the lotus feet of the Lord. And so in this way, beautiful description is given. The prayers goes very well. And at the end, it says, Kamancha dasyam natu kamya kamaya. An ashrita of Bhagavata Haribhaktas. Ambarish Maharaja says, I have no other desires. I have only one desire. Kamancha dasyam natu kamya kamaya. Bhagavata ashrayaha. Ambarish Maharaja, as that I have only one desire, nothing else. Ashrita of the Bhagavatas who took the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. That's Maharaj Ambarisha. So he is in this dynasty, that is Surya Vamsa, especially Nabhaga, and he was the son of Nabhaga. Here comes Ambarisha Charita and Durvasa Munis. Durvasa Muni Ambarisha Charita. And beautiful, beautiful. The Lord in Vaikuntha, when Durvasa Muni goes, when he curses Ambarish Maharaj and Sudarshana Chakra chases Durvasa Muni, he goes to Brahmaji first. He says, no, I am after all, that's Lord Narayana. He is the controller, you have to go. And then from there he goes to Lord Shiva. He says the same thing. It's Lord Narayana, you have to go there. And when Durvasa Muni goes to Lord Narayana, what he says is, dear devotees, oh, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you are the one that rescues even the most impious one. So that's why I'm falling at your feet. Oh Lord, I have committed a sin. I have committed aparadha to your devotee. So you please now, excuse me, forgive me. The Sudarshan Chakra is on my back and it is burning me. So please forgive me, says Durvasa Muni. And Lord, immediately Lord beautifully says, Aham Bhakta Paradhina. You're asking me for forgiveness, but I am under the control of my devotees. And they control my heart. And Durvasa Muni, not only am I under the control of my pure devotees, I am under the control of my devotees. Lord says those words. I am under the control of not only my pure devotees, but devotees. And we call this as a love letter of the Lord to all the devotees. Beautiful verses of the Lord are there, about 4 and 5. He says, no, you have to go back to Ambarish. Like that, the Lord says, and Sadhavo Hrudayam Mahyam Sadhu Mam Hrudayam Aham. I am there in the heart of my devotees, and the devotees are in my heart. So you are coming and asking me the forgiveness? It doesn't work that way. So Durvasa Muni, you got to go to Ambarish Maharaj and you have to fall on his feet. Durvasa Muni does that. And Ambarish Maharaj, he feels so embarrassed. And then, of course, he forgives Durvasa Muni and then he respects and he gives the feast. But all that is here, Ambarish Maharaj in Nabhaga. The glorious Ambarish Maharaj is the son of Nabhaga. That's Surya Vamsa, dear devotees. Coming to Chandra Vamsa, again Brahma start, right? Brahma's son is Atri, Atri's son is Soma, Soma's son is Buddha. We just heard, right? Actually, Tara is the wife of Brihaspati. Anyway, Soma begets Buddha in the womb of Tara. And Buddha, as we heard, unites with Ila and Pururava is born. Pururava has 6 sons. Yayati is the main one. Yayati, through Sarmishta, she is the Kshatriya queen, Kshatriya wife. Devayani is Brahmana wife. We heard that story. Through Sarmishta, Puru is born. And through Devayani, Yadu is born. So in the descendants of Puru, Dushmanta. This Dushmanta, we will hear about him, but please note this is Dushmanta. This is King Bharata, not the Jada Bharata. Dushmanta marries to Shakuntala and Bharata is born. And here comes glorious Ranti Deva, who fasts for about, I think, 40 days or so, about to sip, about to eat, honor the prasadam. Somebody comes, a Chandala comes, he gives away the prasadam. About to drink water. And again, I think Brahmana, first a Brahmana comes, Chandala comes like that. So he gives half of the water away. And then I think a dog comes, Chandala or dog comes, and he gives the rest of the water also away. Rantideva, his prayers, his compassion to all the living entities. And he had unparalleled compassion to all the living entities. His prayer was to be in the shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, in the ashrita of Sharanagata Bhaktas. That was his prayer, Rantideva's prayer. But he's very well known for the compassion to all living entities. That's glorious, magnanimous Rantideva in the dynasty of Puru. And Ajamida comes there. Ajamida continues Kuru. So Kuru dynasty is from Kuru. The Kurus are descendants of Puru dynasty. Why Kuru? From Kuru comes Shantanu. And from Shantanu, the Pandavas and Kauravas. Shantanu, through Mother Ganga, he gets Bhishma. Shantanu is married to Satyavati, and he had two sons, Vichitravirya and Chitrangada. Chitrangada dies at a young age. Vichitravirya also dies without begetting any sons. Then Satyavati calls her son Vyasadeva, who she begets through Parasara Muni before she met Santanu. So this Vyasadeva is called upon to beget son in the womb of Ambika and Ambalika. To give the predecessors in Kuru dynasty, to give the rulers. So from Ambika is born Dhritarashtra, from Ambalika is born Pandu. Dhritarashtra was blind, Pandu was pale. So that's why Vyasa was requested to beget a son through a maid servant, and Vidura was born through her. So this is all Santanu, who is the descendant of Kuru dynasty, who belongs to Puru, the dynasty of Puru. And here comes Yadu dynasty from Yayati through Devayani. Yadus, Vrishnis, Andakas. We hear these words a lot, dear devotees. Vrishnis, Andakas, and Sattvatas. Where are they? Sattvatas, not in this slide. That also we hear. So from Vrishni, Surasena is a descendant of Vrishni, Kunti and Vasudeva. That's why they are brothers and sisters. So Kunti Devi and Vasudeva, they belong to Vrishni. Okay. And Vasudeva gets married to Devaki. And here is our Lord Krishna in the dynasty of Yadu, Vrishnis. And from same Yadu, there are Andakas. Here are the brother and sisters, the Devaki and Kamsa, from Andaka. Andaka. From Ugrasena is Kamsa and Devaka is Devaki. Yeah, so this is Yadu dynasty. This Devaki is married to Vasudeva here, and that's from there comes Lord Krishna. That's about Yayati, who's the son of Ayu. And Vijaya, the descendant is Gadhi, and Gadhi's daughter Satyavati gets married to Ruchita. Son is Jamadagni. Jamadagni's son is Lord Parashurama through Renuka. And Gadhi has his wife, and she takes the Yajna Phala, the fruit of the Yajna that was done. And as a result of that, she gives birth to Vishwamitra. And in the descendants of Vishwa, marries Menaka. Their daughter is Shakuntala. This is the Shakuntala that gets married to Dushmanta in Puru dynasty. And that's how King Bharata is born here. The Shakuntala, Bharata here. See? So that's the connection. And there are 4 other sons too. So those are the important ones in Surya Vamsa and Chandra Vamsa. Now, moving on to the 10th canto, dear devotees. 10th canto is about Ashraya, Lord Krishna. Ready? Yeah. Appearance of the Lord in Mathura, and he's brought to Gokula. There, the first demon that was killed was Putana. King Kamsa wanted to find baby Krishna and sends many demons. One of those demons is Putana. Putana goes to Gokula and she tries to feed baby Krishna with her poisonous milk. And there comes Aho Bakiyam Stanakalakutam Jigamsaya Payat Apyasatvi Lebhe Gatim Dhatri Uchitam Tathonyam Kamvadayalu Sharanam Brajema. When Putana went there, Lord Krishna, baby Krishna thought, oh, she's coming in the form of mother. She dressed up like a devotee and coming with an intention to feed me, with an act to feed me as mother. Though the intention is to kill, I will not care for the intention. I just want to see what's good in her. And he killed Putana, but gave the place of a, assistant of mother, like a mother in spiritual world. So that's the killing of Putana, the first demon that's killed. And in 3 months, when baby Krishna was placed under the cart, he kicks the cart, Shakatasura. And so Shakatasura, the cart demon, was killed. And then around 1 year or so, Trinavarta, the whirlpool demon, takes baby Krishna high up there. And then he chokes, Lord Krishna chokes Trinavarta. And after that is Mrudabhakshana Leela. The mud. Baby Krishna eats mud. And Balaram goes and complains to Mother Yashoda. And Lord Krishna opens the mouth saying that he didn't eat the mud. And there Mother Yashoda sees the whole Brahmanda in Lord Krishna. Mrudabhakshana Leela. After that, Damodara, he's crawling around. And then he broke the butter pot. Mother Yashoda is very angry. She tied up Damodara, baby Krishna, to those grinding motors. That's where the Damodar Leela happens. That's when Yamala Arjuna trees, they fall down. Huge trees, they fall down. And then Nanda Maharaj gets concerned. Then he calls all the other villages also, Upananda also. Then they think, oh, there are so many demons coming here in this place. Our baby Krishna is so small, we have to move from here to a better place. And they make a move from Gokula to Vrindavana. There, Lord Krishna starts herding the calves first and then cows later. Then Aghasura demon. Aghasura Vada happens. So Aghasura is killed and his mouth is wide open still. And meanwhile, after killing Aghasura, that day, Lord Krishna goes with his coward boys' friends, and then Brahma Vimohana Leela happens. Lord Brahma, this is not Vimochana Leela, this is Vimohana Leela. Lord Brahma, he steals the cowherd boys and calves. 1 year passes by. Right? Lord Krishna, he replicates himself to those missed cowherd boys and calves of Vrindavana. 1 year passes by like that. And then Brahma, he realizes, brings back the original cowherd boys and the calves. And then when they return to their houses, they still see that Aghasura mouth was still open. He was dead. the skeleton of Aghasura was opened. So that's how after Aghasura Leela is Brahma Vimohan Leela. After that is Dhenukasura Leela. Dhenukasura Vatha is killed by Balarama and Krishna. And then Kaliya Damana Leela. After Kaliya Damana Leela, there is a forest fire. And meanwhile, Pralambasura comes. Lord Balaram kills Pralambasura. Second forest fire comes. Krishna swallows all this forest fires. Now it's time. Forest fire pastime is over. Now it's time for the spring to enter. And Lord Krishna enters into the forest. And beautiful description of the Lord. Barhavansam Natavarvapur Karnayo Karnikaram Bhidrat Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayanti Shamala. Beautiful description. So Lord Krishna enters into the forest like that. And Venugita, how all the gopis, they glorify the fortune of Venu, the flute. That's Venugita. And next comes Vastraharana Leela, stealing the garments of gopis after the Katyayani Vata, because they all wanted Krishna as their husband. And after that comes Yajnapatnis, the prayers of Yajnapatnis. That is followed by Govardhana Leela. Govardhana Leela. And a day after that, few days after that, Nanda Maharaj, he was taken by the servants of Varuna into the water. Lord Krishna goes there and rescues Nanda Maharaj and brings back. After that is time for Rasa dance, because Lord has promised the gopis after the Vastraharana Leela that he would have a Rasa dance with the topmost devotees, gopis. So Rasa dance starts, but the Lord decides to disappear because he thought the gopis were getting a little proud that they're getting the association of the Lord. And then all the gopis in separation, they sing their prayers, they sing their heart out in the form of prayers. That is Gopi Gita. And then the Lord returns again and the Rasa dance continues. That is reunion. And that's done. It's time to kill the final few demons before Akrura comes and takes our Lord to Madura. So that way, Shankachuda is killed. After that is Aristashuravada, the bull demon. And then, of course, Radhakunda and Shamakunda is formed after that, when Lord Krishna had to do the Prayaschitta, as asked by Srimati Radharani. And Keshi and Vyoma demons are killed after Arishtasura. These are the last demons, Keshi and Vyomasura. Keshi and Vyomasura. These are the last demons that were killed before Lord Krishna left to Mathura. And after killing Keshi and Vyoma in the afternoon, you know the Vrindavan schedule, Lord Krishna goes with his friends to the forest to graze the cows. And at around lunchtime, just before lunchtime, they get together, play, and the demons come, they get killed. And then there's Krishna and his friends, the cowherd boys, they'll have the lunch and they return back in the evening. And all the cowherd boys, they go to their homes, their houses, and they speak Krishna Katha. They tell their mothers what happened throughout the day, what Krishna did. So this is the schedule, everyday schedule. Beautiful schedule with Krishna of the cowherd boys. Like we have our beautiful schedule also, sadhana schedule, beautiful one with Krishna, for Krishna. So like that happened in the evening. In the afternoon, Keshi and Vyoma were killed. And then Krishna and Balaram, they return and they see Akrura's chariot there in the evening. And gopis come to know that Akrura is here to take Krishna to Mathura. The final Gita is Viraha Gita. Gopis, they cry. So next day morning, they fall before the chariot. They pray, and they pray to Akrura to please not take Krishna to Mathura, not take Krishna away from them. But Akrura takes Krishna to Mathura, and then Mathura pastimes. As the Lord with Balarama enters into Mathura, he first kills the washerman, right? And after that, he breaks the sacrificial bow. Then Kuvalayapida. After that, Kuvalayapida is killed. And then sacrificial bow is broken. Lord Krishna breaks the sacrificial bow. And then Kamsa hears this. And he gets terrified. Of course, Kamsa also comes there. After killing Chanura, Mishtika, all those Malla Yodhis, the boxers, Kamsa is also killed. After killing Kamsa, as promised, Lord Krishna goes back to Kubja to fulfill her desire. And then after that, Lord Krishna rescues, Krishna and Balarama rescues his spiritual master's son, Sandipuni Muni's son. By this time, Nanda Maharaj knew that Krishna is not going to come back now to Vrindavana. Krishna says, Baba, I have to kill few more demons because now that Kamsa is killed, more demons will come. So how can I leave Mathura like this insecure? So let me kill those demons also, and then I'll come to Vrindavana. So please go, Baba, and then please give my messages to all the Vrajavasis and to Mother Yashoda. In this way, Krishna sends back Nanda Maharaj to Vraja. The time passes by. Krishna misses his devotees so much. The Lord misses his devotees so much, and he asks Uddhava to please visit Vrindavana and tell them that he's coming very soon. Uddhava visits Vrindavana, and he sees gopis, and especially Srimati Radharani. Uddhava thought, okay, I'll give the message, and I'll tell them some philosophy so they can understand that Krishna is sitting in everybody's heart. I will remind them that Krishna is sitting in their heart also. Then that way their separation pain will go away. That was Uddhava, Brahaspati, Sishya Uddhava was thinking. But to his surprise and to his enlightenment, Uddhava sees the love of gopis, and especially Srimati Radharani, who was singing Brahmara Gita. And then Uddhava returns back to Krishna, to Mathura, after knowing what Vrajabhakti means. And after returning of Uddhava to Mathura, then Jarasandha, he comes to attack Mathura. Then the Lord decides to protect all his devotees in Mathura. And so he transfers all of them to Dwaraka. Dwaraka is built by Vishwakarma. He transfers all these devotees in Mathura to Dwaraka. And before Ranachora, Lord Krishna, along with Balarama, ran away, so-called ran away from the battlefield. Muchakunda was killed. Deliverance of Muchakunda here. And now Dwaraka. Lord, with his devotees, is in Dwaraka now. Now Dwaraka needs queens. So all the queens, one after the other. Satyabhama's daughter, Satyabhama. Satrajit's daughter, Satyabhama. First queen is Rukmini. Rukmini and her letter to Lord Krishna to please rescue her and marry her. Those are beautiful prayers of Rukmini. So Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Nagnajiti or Satya. She's also called Satya. Kalindi, Mitravinda, Bhadra, Lakshmana. These are principal queens of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka, 8 queens. And later on, Lord Krishna kills Narakasura and delivers 16,100 princesses. And then marries them all and brings them to Dwaraka. Later on, Banasura is chastised, and Usha's and Aniruddha marriage is done here after chastising Banasura. And after that comes deliverance of King Nriga. We just heard, right? King Nriga. Which dynasty was that? Ikshvaku. Right? King Nriga. And meanwhile, Lord Balaram goes to Vrindavana to give the message of Lord Krishna. Uddhava has already been there. He said, Krishna is just coming. He didn't go back, of course. And now Krishna is still thinking of his devotees. Rasalila of Lord Balaram with his set of gopis, his devotees. And after that, killing of Paundraka, the fake Krishna. Paundraka claimed that he is the original Vasudeva and wrote a letter to Lord Krishna to give his Sudarshan Chakra and Gadha back. And Lord Krishna laughs and says, okay, why not take the Sudarshan Chakra? So the same Sudarshan Chakra kills the fake Krishna, that's Paundraka. So Paundraka was killed. Paundraka was killed, and he has other friends too. They will be killed soon. We will hear that. But meanwhile, Vivida is also killed by Balarama. Yeah. And after this, Lord travels to Indraprastha. And before going to Indraprastha, he kills Jarasandha through Bhima. Actually, he goes to Indraprastha, takes Bhima, and goes to Jarasandha. And Jarasandha is killed by Bhima with the help of Lord Krishna. And then comes back to Indraprastha. Rajasoya Yajna is done. Shishupala was killed. And Shishupala's and Dvivida's friends are Dantavakra and Vidurta. They were also killed, and Shalva was also killed. So, Vinashaya cha dushkrita, paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam. All this Mathura Leela was paritranaya sadhunam, for the devotees in Vrindavana. And once he enters Madhura Dwaraka, vinashaya cha dushkritam, killed. And so that's in the Prastha. After this, Sudama comes to visit the Lord in Dwaraka. Yeah. And after that, you're meeting in Kurukshetra. These the Dwarakavasis with Lord Krishna and Pandavas from Hastinapura, and the Vrajavasis from Vrindavan. All three of them, they meet. So there is meeting in Kurukshetra. That's Vasudeva, father of Lord Krishna. And so Lord sons of Mother Devaki there. After that happens, again in Dwaraka, when Arjuna comes there, he kidnaps Subhadra, permission of Lord Krishna. That's how they get married. Bahulashva and Shrutadeva, these wonderful devotees, prayers of Bahulashva, Shrutadeva. Then the prayers of personified Vedas. And then this topic comes, how Lord Krishna, though in Tattva he's same as Vishnu, how Lord Krishna is to Lord Shiva and Mahavishnu too. Shiva killing Vritrasura. How Vritrasura. Lord Shiva was saved from Vritrasura by Lord Vishnu, the expansion of Lord Krishna. That comes there. And how Arjuna and Lord Krishna, in search of the Brahmana's son, meets Mahavishnu. That story also comes here. Mahavishnu. So, that is it. In this way, Dwaraka Leela, yeah, now this is how slowly the 10th chapter closes. Of course, killing of Romaharshana and Balarama also happens after Balarama kills Dvivida. So that's about 10th canto, dear devotees. That's about 10th canto. And we are moving to the 11th canto, where it begins with curse of Brahmanas for the destruction of the Yadu dynasty. And after the curse, Vasudeva, father of Lord Krishna, again, he wanted to hear from Narada Muni. And then that's where Narada Muni recites the prayers of, recites the instructions of Navayogendras to King Nimi. And after that, all these demigods headed by Brahma come to Lord Krishna to remind him, to thank him for his help, for paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chatushkrita, to kill all the demons and to decrease earth. Then Lord Krishna says, I have to decrease the burden of the earth by eliminating most of this Yadu dynasty, also my own dynasty. He says that. And Krishna, then after these demigods pray, and after they leave, Lord Krishna gives order, instructs the Yadu dynasty, all these Yadus to go to Prabhasa. So all those Yadus who are the demigod portions, they leave to Prabhasa. There, and then Uddhava Gita asks Lord Krishna, Uddhava asks Lord Krishna, oh Lord, I want to come with you too. It sounds like you are going to complete your pastimes on this earth. So please take me with you. Then Lord Krishna says, no, Uddhava, I have a service for you. I'm going to instruct a Gita for you. As I did for Arjuna, I will instruct the Gita for you. That's Uddhava Gita. So you please carry this message to the sages in Badalikashrama. And this is how Uddhava Gita starts. Coming to Uddhava Gita, Uddhava's question was, Lord Krishna says, Uddhava, you are such a saintly person. So after I leave this planet, please stay detached. Do not be contaminated. Kali Yuga is going to come. Then Uddhava asks, how to that? Lord Krishna states that one should use one's logic to gain the knowledge, and in that way stay detached. After saying that, Lord Krishna continues, Lord Krishna wanted to say that it is only a theory, but it is practiced only through bhakti. But before explaining bhakti, Lord Krishna explains, touches a little bit about Karma Kanda and Varnashrama. And that's where he explains about conditioned and liberated souls and tells how liberation happens by default through bhakti. Here, Lord Krishna explains about sadhana bhakti and also glorifies the topmost devotees, the gopis. And then Uddhava asks one more question. Oh Lord, I have heard that you have explained yoga to the 4 Kumaras. Would you please explain about that? That's where Hamsavatara comes. So all the teachings of Hamsavatara. When Brahma was not able to answer the question of 4 Kumaras, he meditates and prays to the Lord. And the Lord appears as Hamsavatara, and the teachings of Hamsavatara comes there. And then Uddhava's question was, how does one get siddhis? Can you please explain about that? That's where comes Ashtanga Yoga and different siddhis that are obtained through Ashtanga Yoga. And then Uddhava's question is, oh Lord, I want to hear more about your opulences, the vibhutis, material and spiritual. Would you please explain? There, all the material and spiritual vibhutis are explained, very similar to the Bhagavad Gita, the opulences of the Lord. And after this, after explaining all these opulences, Uddhava asked for a universal definition for all civilized beings to follow. Yeah. And Lord Krishna explains that beautifully. And then at the very end, Lord Krishna says, what is the point of explaining all these things, Uddhava? There are only three paths to come to me. There's karma, jnana, and bhakti. And then he explains about, please ignore all that. This is not good. I will not show that. He explains about karma, jnana, and bhakti. And here, after explaining this, Lord Krishna says bhakti is the topmost. Then he also says, though bhakti is topmost, those people who are small-minded and are after fruitative results, they do karma kanda. So in this way, karma kanda and varnashrama system were explained in detail again. I wanted to go in the sequence that was explained. Then Uddhava asks next question. Would you please tell me more about this counting system, Sankhya? Different philosophers gives different numbers of material elements. So please, can you explain about the Sankhya Yoga, Bhagavan? Then Lord Krishna, yes, he says, okay, this is Sankhya Yoga, otherwise called as Jnana Yoga too. And in this way, Sankhya Yoga and Jnana Yoga were explained. And when the Lord explains that, he says, see how the mind is, and in the Sankhya or Jnana Yoga, after enumerating everything, the Lord says how all these material elements are different from the soul. And the soul has to reincarnate because the mind is the reason for the soul to have next body. So one has to keep the mind detached from this world. On that note, Lord Krishna says, it's not easy. It's not easy to get detached. Stay detached and control the mind, because there was a Brahmana, Avanti Brahmana. He has incurred many insults. And it is not easy to bear all those insults, but he realizes at the end of he realizes when he loses all his money and he's deserted by his family members, he realizes that his mind was his enemy. So without pointing out to others, he sees that his mind is the enemy, and that is the reason why he gets attached outside. So he decides to place his mind at the lotus feet of Lord Hari. In this way, Avanti Brahmana, song of Avanti Brahmana comes when Lord Krishna explains on that note. And also, because he was talking about the mind, how it is influenced by the three modes. All the details of the three modes are very well described here in Uddhava Gita. And at last, Aila Gita comes, because the Lord is still explaining about the Sankhya Yoga And he's saying how it is important for the mind to be controlled. So in Aila Gita, Pururava, we heard that, right? He was very much attached to Urvasi. So to explain that the lust has to be curbed, Lord explains about Aila Gita, where Pururava, he comes to his senses and then realizes that he was unnecessarily getting entangled with this lust. And then he decides to place his mind also, instead of getting attached to the women outside, which is Urvashi, he decides to get attached to the Paramatma, to the Lord within. So that's how Lord Krishna speaks about Aila Gita, and then glorifies the association of the devotees. And as a continuation of that, after hearing the glorification of the devotees, Uddhava asks about, okay, the devotees, they worship the deities, right? So would you please explain more about the deity worship? That's where deity worship in detail comes. And the deity worship is explained. And then it was time for, after that, it was time for Uddhava to go after the deity worship is explained one last time, karma, jnana, and bhakti is explained, and bhakti is glorified. Bhakti is glorified. There, Uddhava, karma was explained, jnana was explained. Uddhava says, this is too much to understand Krishna. When the karma was explained, that's where Varnashrama system was explained in detail. And then when the Lord was explaining about jnana, then Uddhava says, this is too much to understand. Would you please, as you so intimately reciprocate with the devotees, see, you hugged Hanuman as Lord Ramachandra, and you are so intimate with the devotees. So can you please tell me about that bhakti? And that is the final part of the Uddhava Gita, where bhakti is glorified. There, Uddhava praises the Lord, how the Lord is so dear to the devotees, and devotees are dear to the Lord. And Acharya Chaitya Vapusam Swagatim Vyanakta, how the Lord is so merciful, and he comes as Acharya, Sri Guru, as outside, and as Chaitya Guru, he's as Chaitya Guru inside. And with this, he guides the soul towards his realm. Uddhava praises the Lord like that. And then Lord explains completely about the Bhakti Yoga. And after that, it was time for Uddhava to go to Badrikashrama. And of course, he comes back again a little bit later because he was missing. And then Maitreya also comes to that scene. And then Lord Krishna imparts the last piece of Uddhava Gita. Maitreya also was there. And then he sends Uddhava to Badrikashrama, and Maitreya also leaves. And then Maushala Leela happens, and the Lord disappears from the planet. That's 11th canto. And to the last one, 12th canto, dear devotees. 12th canto is about the symptoms of Kali Yuga were described. And Bhumi Devi, how sad she was with these demoniac kings in Kali Yuga. That is Bhumi Gita that was described. And the four destructions, 4 kinds of destructions or Nirodha is also described. That's why the 12th canto is Nirodha. And after describing all that, 4 kinds of destructions have described, then Sukadeva Goswami, he brings to Parikshit Maharaj's attention, see, there are 4 kinds of destructions. Even the universe gets annihilated at the end of the life of Brahma. What to speak of individual beings bodies getting annihilated? It's very little. Individual destruction is very small when compared to this universal destruction. So Parikshit, Maharaj Parikshit, you have heard it all. You have heard it all now. It's time for you to meditate on the Lord now. Shravanam, Kirtanam, now Smaranam time has come. Antyakale namamiva, Smaran muktva kalevaram. Yaprayati samatpavam, nati, atra samsaya. So Parikshit Maharaj, now please meditate on the Lord in the heart. Your time to quit the body has come. Then Parikshit Maharaj meditates, and Takshaka, the snake bird, comes. Even before Takshaka, the snake bird burns Parikshit Maharaj left his body completely absorbed in the meditation of the Lord. And Sutta Goswami says, Sutta Goswami leaves after that. After instructing Parikshit Maharaj, Sutta Goswami leaves, and then Parikshit Maharaj is the snake bird comes and burns the body of Parikshit Maharaj, and all that has happened. Now Sutta Goswami is telling Shaunaka Rishi and all the sages, thank you all so very much. You have given this opportunity to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. He says that, and that's when Shaunaka Rishi asks about Srimad Bhagavatam is Amala Purana. So Shaunaka Rishi asks Sutta Goswami to please speak about other Puranas and Vedic literature also. Now the Srimad Bhagavatam is completely heard. So there we heard about the division of the Vedic literatures and the Puranas also, different Puranas, and the criteria for the Mahapuranas. There, Shaunaka Rishi, when Sutta Goswami was explaining how Romaharshana was killed, and Sutta Goswami was made as the chief of this Puranic literature, teacher of the Puranic literature, then Shaunaka Rishi had a question, especially about Markandeya Rishi, because he says, oh, I belong to the descendants of Markandeya Rishi, and I've heard that he has survived a pralaya. So can you please speak about Markandeya Rishi? That's how Markandeya Rishi Charita comes. And the last part of the 12th canto is the summary and glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nama Sankirtana Yasya Sarva Papai Pramucheta Pranama. The glorification of Nama Sankirtana. Nama Sankirtana Yasya Pranamo Sarva Papam. I want to recite this, dear devotees. Please give me a second. This is how the Srimad Bhagavatam endorses Nama Sankirtana. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Priyam. This is how Srimad Bhagavatam ends endorsing Nama Sankirtana to start the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is completely about Nama Sankirtana. That's all, dear devotees. And I'm just going to say just those words only. So we have followed the format, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we heard about 9th canto, the summary of the 9th canto, 10th canto, 11th and 12th canto. 9th is Ishanukada, 10th Ashraya, 11th is Mukti, 12th is Nirodha. So we heard about the summary of it. And the 9th canto, we heard about Surya Vamsa and Chandra Vamsa. From the Surya Vamsa, Ramachandra is there and Ambarish Maharaj is there. Chandra Vamsa, Lord Krishna is there. And of course, from Santanu, the Pandavas, Kauravas were there. Yeah. So 9th canto and the 10th canto, we heard about the pastimes. Yeah, from Mathura to Vrindavan, coming back to Mathura, Mathura to Dwaraka pastimes, Dwaraka to Indraprastha pastimes, and then continued with the Dwaraka pastimes, and how the 10th canto leads to the 11th canto with the curse of the Brahmanas for the degradation of Yadu dynasty, and then Maharaj Nui, Navayogendra, Navayogendra's instructions to Maharaj Nimi, and then the whole Uddhava Gita, which covers all the topics. And then Maushala Leela, 11th canto, the 12th canto, about the symptoms of Kali Yuga, and Bhumi Gita, and the Nirodha, 4 kinds of destructions, and passing away of Parikshit Maharaj. Then comes the Vedic literature, description of Vedic literature, and Markandeya Charita, finally, Srimad Bhagavatam, the summary and glorification. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jaya. Dear devotees, thank you all so much for your interest in Krishna Katha, for your sincere and patient association. Yes, please, the last session of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the next week, next Friday, I think for us, yeah, next Friday, we will, you please speak, and I want to hear from you. Maybe all of you can take like 2-3 minutes or so. That will not be enough at all, not at all enough. But whatever that you like the most from Srimad Bhagavatam, you all please speak next week, and all of us will get to hear. So I'm going to pause here, dear devotees. Now, you please say something. Yes, probably we can stop the recording, right? Are you still there? Yes, dear devotees, you please go ahead.